Problem number 21. Solve with the complex numbers. That just means you can have i's in your answer, the imaginary number, and leave your answers in simplest radical form. So we've got x cubed plus 8 equals 0. This is a sum of two cubes, and the sum of two cubes factors a cubed plus b cubed. That's what it starts as. Just like this is an x cubed and a 2 cubed, so it fits this form. And the factorization is a plus b, a squared, minus a b plus b squared. And that has to be memorized. You may also want to look up how to find a difference of squares and factor that. And in red there I've shown you the sign change. So for this problem, my a is x and my b is a 2. X and 2 are what's cubed. And so the factorization goes a plus b, x plus 2. Take the a, the x, and square it. Subtract the product of a times b, that's 2x. And then take the b term and square it. Oops, jump pages. Take the b term and square it, so we take the 2 and square it to 4. So what we've done there is we've factored that polynomial, and because we have it factored, we can use what's called the zero product property. And since it equals 0, and this is a product, one of those has to equal 0. That's the only way a product is going to equal 0. So we set the first factor equal to 0, and there's an answer. And that's not surprising, the negative 2. Plug it in. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0, so that certainly is an answer. This other equation is quadratic. We've got to solve now. X squared minus 2x plus 4 equals 0. Okay. I'm going to take x squared minus 2x plus 4, x squared minus 2x plus 4, and break this thing out and solve it because it takes a little bit of work. Now, this is quadratic, and normally we try to factor it, but it came from a difference of, or sum of cubes, and so it's prime, which means we cannot factor it. So our only choice is to solve it by quadratic formula, which you have, some of you, a calculator program for. If you don't have it, let's run through it again. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. And so let's plug in the numbers. B up here is our negative 2. Careful, you get a negative of b, so the opposite of negative 2 is 2. Plus or minus, take a negative 2 and you square it, because that's b squared, you get 4. Minus 4, a is the number in front of x squared, and c is right there, the 4. All over 2 times a, and a again is just 1, so 2 times 1. Now it's just cleanup work. You got your calculator to find out the stuff under here called the discriminant. It's going to be 4 minus 16, or negative 12. There's that square root of a negative, so that's 2 plus or minus I root 12 over 2. That 12 is going to factor as 3 times 4, so we can take a square root of 4 and get a 2 on the outside. 2I root 3 all over 2, leading us to our final answer. Each term here is divisible by 2, so dividing those by 2, we get these answers, 1 plus I root 3 and 1 minus I root 3. So I'll clean up, going back to where the problem was worked originally here. Our final three answers there, because it's cubic, we get 3 answers. Negative 2 is one of them, and this is a pair of conjugate imaginary solutions, giving us 2 more. Problem 22, not quite as involved. It's x to the 4th equals 0, a quartic equation. Okay, it's only got 2 terms. This is a difference of 2 squares, x squared minus 2 times x squared plus 2 is its factorization. Now that it's factored, we can set each factor equal to 0 and solve it. X minus 2 equals 0, x squared equals 2, x equals plus or minus root 2, and then x squared plus 2 equals 0, so x squared equals negative 2, so x equals plus or minus I root 2. And there's 4 answers, which we expected because this is x to the 4th.